My mom is getting me evicted from my apartment. I don't have a car, and I have to be out 5 days after the baby is born that I'm fixing to have, and I also have two other children. So my mom was in a marriage for 3 years. It's come to find out the man that she was with was using her and abusing her and cheating on her and all that. So she decided to leave. And in my heart, I told her she could come stay with me. At the kindness of my heart, I told her she could come stay with me, not knowing it would turn out like this. Basically, yeah, I told her she could come stay with me. I didn't want my mom to be homeless, so I told her she could come stay with me, get on her feet, and yeah, that's what it was. And ever since then, it's like my life has been hell. Ever since then, if you know my mom, you know she's mentally unstable, like very mentally unstable, like very mentally unstable. I should have never had her around me or my kids. I should have never let her come into my apartment and stay. Um, so yeah, let me just get into the nitty gritty of what happened. So yesterday, I told her that I was going to. Well, I just got back from the hospital yesterday because I was sick. So I told her, I said, please just leave me alone. I don't want to talk right now. It's gonna cause an argument. I said, please leave my room. At first, she was refusing to leave my room. So then I told her, I said, look, please leave my room. When she leaves my room, she goes out there and she starts talking junk. So I said, if you're not gonna give me no peace while I'm 9 months pregnant, and I just got out of the hospital because I'm sick. I can't even eat anything. I have fever. My kids have fever. My kids are sick too. If you can't give me any peace, you need to leave.
Mm.
That set her off. Me telling her to leave set her off, and basically she went into a whole rage. She started threatening to go down to the office. Mind you, she's not on the lease. She's not even supposed to be in here. I'm helping her out of. I'm risking everything out of the kindness of my heart for her. Something she would never do for me. Mind you, this lady is the same lady that missed 10 years of my life because she went to jail for raping two younger boys. And I still gave her a chance. I still gave her a chance. So
Oh my
he
goodness.
set her off and I told her to get out, and we ended up getting into an argument. I called the police because I wanted her removed from my home. She called the police because me and her got into a physical altercation at that point. Um, when the police came, everything was
Hmm?
okay. They said, well, you can't bring her out because she's been here for 130 days. Okay, cool. You're going to have to get an eviction letter. That's fine. So as soon as the police leave, I told her, okay, well, since you don't pay any bills in here, you don't pay for food, you don't pay for tissue, you don't pay for washing detergent or washing powder. I said, you're right, you absolutely, you're right, you do have rights to the house, but you don't have rights to anything else I pay for, which is the lights, the water, the food, the washer and dryer, the plugs, anything like that. I said, if you need to charge your phone, you can go down to your car and charge your phone. If you need to take a shower, you need to figure out how you're going to do that because you cannot do it here no more. I said, I don't want you here, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I want you here. I said, you have not did shit but caused problems in my house since you've been here. So that set her off again. She called the police again. The only reason why they didn't take me to jail, I feel, is because I am 9 months pregnant. Um, she tried to off herself in front of my children with a razor blade. That's the reason why I called the police.
Okay, hold on. We have to stop this for a second. There's still more, but she's throwing so much at us. And there's something I want to revisit for a second. The beginning part where she was outlining. Let's just go to it. If you guys could like the video, though, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it actually does help out more than you know. So I'd appreciate it if you could like as well as hype.
It's come to find out the man that she was with was using her and abusing her and cheating on her and all that. So she decided to leave.
I wanted to go back to this for a very specific reason. Because ironically, what she outlined what her mom apparently told her that her husband was doing to her. She said he was using her, abusing her, cheating on her, and then that's why she left her stable home and was in a circumstance where she was about to get put out on the street. However, ironically, again, that's what she's doing to her own daughter that's 9 months pregnant. She mentioned that her mom is basically threatening her and holding it over her head that basically if she doesn't do what she wants, then she's gonna go down there and get her evicted because she's really not supposed to be in there to begin with. Because I guess she's on Section 8. So she's basically gonna go and have her 9 month pregnant daughter with her two grandchildren as well end up on the street with her, which goes into what she said her husband was doing, which was using her, as well as the daughter just said that they got into an altercation. Listen, I don't care what the context is. Your daughter's 9 months pregnant. There's no reason that you should be getting into an altercation with a woman that's 9 months pregnant, which she said her husband was abusing her. So in my mind, that's abuse. Ain't that ironic that all the stories that she told about her husband or the husband that she separated with is all the behaviors that she does. But we just are so quick to just believe her story when not even intentionally, we've just been given basically an admission that that's how she operates. So what I'm ultimately saying is you have to take it with a grain of salt, her story of what's happening, because it also came out that she had a criminal record for graping grape two young boys. So what does that tell us? That kind of touches on the cheating part too. It's so crazy, ain't it? Let's get back into it.
That set her off. Me telling her to leave set her off, and basically she went into a whole rage. She started threatening to go down to the office. Mind you, she's not on the lease. She's not even supposed to be in here. I'm helping her out. I'm risking everything out of the kindness of my heart for her. Something she would never do for me. Mind you, this lady is the same lady that missed 10 years of my life because she went to jail for raping two younger boys. And I still gave her a chance. I still gave her a chance. So he set her off and I told her to get out, and we ended up getting into an argument. I called the police because I wanted her removed from my home. She called the police because me and her got into a physical altercation at that point. When the police came, everything was okay. They said, well, you can't bring her out because she's been here for 130 days. Okay, cool. You're gonna have to get an eviction letter. That's fine. So as soon as the police leave, I told her, okay, well, since you don't pay any bills in here, you don't pay for food, you don't pay for tissue, you don't pay for washing detergent or washing powder. I said, you're right, you absolutely, you're right, you do have rights to the house, but you don't have rights to anything else I pay for, which is the lights, the water, the food, the washer and dryer, the plugs, anything like that. So if you need to charge your phone, you can go down to your car and charge your phone. If you need to take a shower, you need to
Oh
figure out how
my
you're going to do
goodness.
that because you cannot do it here no more. I said, I don't want you here, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I want you here. I said, you have not did shit but caused problems in my house since you've been here. So that set her off again. She called the police again. The only reason why they didn't take me to jail, I feel, is because I am 9 months pregnant. Um, she tried to off herself in front of my children with a razor blade. That's the reason why I called the police again back up here because she tried to off herself with a razor blade, and then she dropped the razor blade on the floor, and I have children in here once again. So basically, all in all, she was gonna be sent to a mental hospital. I guess she refused service, and they let her come back here and get a few of her belongings. When they let her come back here and get a few of her belongings, my property manager was outside. She was outside telling my property manager that my child's father was staying here, my that she was staying here, just all types of stuff. Mind you, I just tried to help this lady. All I wanted to do was help her because she had just got out of an abusive relationship. The house that he's staying in right now, she owns, and he also has another woman staying there as well.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I'm just like, why are you trying to fight so hard to stay here and you didn't even fight for your own home like that? I don't understand it.
I don't want to hear no abuse claims if you're not calling the police. It's that simple. If it's that deep, call the police, especially that's your house. If it's abuse, because she clearly has no problem calling the police, as we just saw. She's calling the police on her own 9-month pregnant daughter, allegedly. So all of a sudden you're getting abused and all this type of stuff. No, based off the details that we're getting, what we're finding out is that it's a good possibility that the mom is probably the toxic person in that situation. And listen, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be clear, because we have this philosophy that family, no matter what, we just they can do no wrong in our eyes, especially the more it gets closer to our immediate family. Listen, this young lady, she's an adult. Clearly, she has two kids and she's got a third one on the way. How she has a third one on the way and she's still single, I don't know. She didn't unpack that. However, she's clearly an adult. You are responsible for other people outside yourself. So I say this to say, as adults, now we have decisions. And there's nobody restricting our decisions for the most part. You can make whatever harmful decision you want to make on you as well as your kids if you also decide to do that. So when your mom comes to you with the story and you know your mom is crazy and you know it's possible your mom is giving just as good as she's getting, if not more, you have a decision to make. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to first prioritize and factor how this can possibly affect your children. It's clear that she traumatized you. So now you decide to allow her to come stay with you and you decide to take that risk. That's your decision. So now you've got to try to deal with it however best you can. But you're going to have to live with the choices you make. So what I'm ultimately saying is we need to be we need to be thinking these things out a little bit more before we make them. And ultimately, I mean, for me, the decision would have been clear. You can already see the writing on the wall, and you're getting into it with your husband, whatever the case. Listen, make whatever decision you want, but just be ready to be responsible for it as well. Just like you're making these decisions and you keep having these kids that apparently you're not having them in a structure of a stable relationship, as well as you're not able to take care of them on your own without assistance.
Going into the Orange County Clerk of the Court to pay this $9.57 rent due eviction for May. Brought an eviction against me. Hey y'all, for $1,941.57. However, I don't owe them $1,941.57. They manipulated the ledgers and getting caught in their lies and scandalous mess of kicking people out of the community, forcing us out, falsifying evictions to get us out. And I'm here as a living witness to show you that I'm getting evicted out of my place for $9.57 here. All right, so y'all stay tuned. All right, peace. Okay, so like basically, even though I pay the money, they can still evict you out.
That's up to the judge.
That's up to the judge, not up to the landlord.
All of the decisions are made up to the judge.
Oh, okay then.
I didn't want to count out 99 cents just as much as you didn't want to receive 99 cents.
I know, right? And I did have change in here, and I put it all in my little change container at the house, and I was just like, oh, I ain't even. She came through.
Here is your receipt. It has all the amounts broken down here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to scan a copy into the case and send it to the judge.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, you put the total, that $40 fee with it. All right, got it. All right, so you scan that and you send everything over to the judge.
Yes.
And then how long it take for me to hear from the judge?
I would give it maybe a week or so. They'll decide if they want to set a hearing or how they're going to move forward.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
He did it.
So what I'm trying to understand here is, did they say that she didn't pay more than what she actually didn't pay? And what it turns out she actually didn't pay was there was $9 that she left out of her payment. Is that what they're saying? If so, I think that's a little wild. But, and I mean, I don't think that this is someone who tries to abuse the rules or abuse the system. She doesn't even really know how the proceedings go, it seems. So it seems that this could have been a mistake. But let's just take it from this frame. You know, if she forgot to pay $9 of her whatever rent it was, if she forgot to leave out $9, you just got to pay a little bit more attention. Because it's funny, right? When you're growing up, I'm talking from a child's perspective. Everyone tells you how hard it is being an adult, and they act like it's so difficult. When I got to be an adult and I got to live in life, sure, at the beginning it was a little difficult, but I made sure not to put certain self-inflicted problems and wounds on myself that were ultimately going to have permanent ramifications. And as I continued to move and traverse through life, things were getting easier and I was getting stronger. And as I was getting older, the more I was able to carry without having self-inflicted burdens that I placed on myself. So I ultimately say this to say, these little things that come up that become these big problems, extremely avoidable. Extremely avoidable if you just are a little bit more meticulous, handle your business, as well as don't take on responsibilities too soon, right? Don't take on too big of responsibilities too soon. Just like the first young lady, that young lady has 3 kids, and now she's also trying to take on her crazy mama. These are decisions that we're making, and before we can even start to gain a little bit of traction and snowball down, it's like we're completely destroying our momentum. So, that's what I'll say. I mean, it's not that hard. As long as you don't do things that's going to hinder you too much, don't take on too much too soon. And you have to always, weigh the costs versus the benefits. You have to do your cost benefit analysis. You got to understand what are the trade-offs for each decision that you're making, and if you're willing to ultimately accept those trade-offs.
Lords need to be stopped. Like, it's not a joke anymore. Someone needs to stop them. I just came home from work from a long day to find a notice to end my tenancy within the next 10 days. I have lived in this apartment building, in this apartment, for 6 years, and I have never had an issue. We recently switched management companies at this building, and I wasn't a huge fan of our old company, so I was like, oh, maybe this will be good, and I've had an open mind. So I'm being told to move out of my apartment within 10 days for failure to pay rent. And I thought to myself, well, that's so interesting because, based on my records, you actually took thousands of dollars out of my bank account automatically at the beginning of this month from the online system that you made me set up in order to pay my rent. Like, that's what my records reflect. So it's a little strange. And again, in 6 years of living here, I've never once missed or been late on a rent payment. So it's a little strange that it could possibly be the case that I haven't paid my rent. So anyway, I log on to their online system, which again, they forced us all to get. And actually it's been a bit of like a drama thing because there's a lot of older people who live in my building who don't really use the internet. Anyway, I log into their online system. I go into the little portal and it says that I haven't paid $225 for my parking for the month, which first of all, criminal for a parking space, but whatever. Again, I have paid that because you automatically took it out of my bank account. And in fact, not only do my records reflect that, but your records that I click into on here show the amount that you took out of my bank account last month, the amount that was for rent, and the amount that was for parking. So yes, I absolutely have paid it. However, I just went and I paid it again because I was like, that's how you dispute, make one of these things go away from the residential tenancy board. That's how you make it go away, is that you pay your whatever it is automatically, and then you don't have to deal with a dispute or anything. And so I was just like, whatever, I'm just going to pay it, and then I'll email them, and I'll take them to small claims court to get the money back if they don't want to give it back to me, because that's apparently what we do now. Is, again, 6 years. And the first thought when their record shows incorrectly, but even if your record shows that I haven't paid my parking for this month, and you don't think to yourself, maybe we should give her a call, maybe we should send an email, maybe we should post even just a, regular reminder notice on her door that this hasn't been paid. Maybe we should give her a chance. No. Over a $200 payment that is at most 13 days late, you think the best way to move forward here is a notice to evict within 10 days. And it is so frustrating because I have had a theory that the new company was going to try to get out people who have been here for several years because we pay less. We're rent controlled, we pay a lot less. I love that my apartment is rent controlled. That's why I'm still here. It also just infuriates me because this is such a dirty move that is designed to prey on people who don't know their rights. Because here's the thing, I'm a lawyer. I've represented clients before the residential tenancy board. I know my rights. I got this notice and I thought, are you kidding me? I have to deal with this? This is annoying. But it took me 20 minutes. I know what I need to do. I know how to figure out. It's fine. Now imagine you're a single parent just coming home from a very long day, has no idea what any of this means, and all of a sudden you're faced with a notice that is telling you essentially to move out within 10 days. That's the big print. The big print is move out within 10 days. All of the details and your rights and whatever are the tiniest little font that you're not going to read. And also, it's not easy to understand. It is not understandable. The law is so rarely understandable to the common person. So you're sitting there and you're freaking out and you're thinking that you're about to lose your rent controlled apartment. And of course, it's evening. So there's no one in the building office. You can't get a hold of the resident manager. You can't make a phone call because it's after their business hours, and you are just sitting there for the entire night. And then again, you're going to have to call them or talk to them when you need to be at work tomorrow. So then you're dealing with this at your work day. It is so dirty. Why?
Yeah, that is annoying. And that's why you got to keep that paper trail like she had. But even to have to deal with it for their errors, and they're so gung ho to go ahead and just file certain proceedings on you, especially an eviction. Yeah, this could definitely be malicious. And the apartment complexes, they're not, they're not perfect. So never just assume that they're right, right? Make sure, but you got to have those records. You got to be on top of things, especially digitally. And see, she knew it couldn't possibly be an issue because her stuff gets auto drafted out, right? So we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually does help out tremendously. Also, if you could hype the video, hype is a feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So that's a little advantage we have. And also, Patreon's link below if you're wanting to see some self-improvement content that I have on there. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.